Welcome back. CISM Domain 4 is about one thing: turning technical signals into coordinated business response. It is about moving from reactive chaos to strategic control. When an incident happens, the business does not care about your firewalls. It cares about survival. Let me give you a quick story. A few years ago, a company got hit with ransomware. The security team reacted fast. They pulled cables. They isolated systems. They contained the threat. But the CEO was kept in the dark for hours. The board found out from the news. The incident was technically contained, but the business was destroyed. Why? Because they had an incident response plan, but they did not have an incident management plan. That is the difference. Incident response is tactical. Incident management is strategic. Incident response is about stopping the bleeding. Incident management is about keeping the business alive. Incident response is the firefighter. Incident management is the fire chief who coordinates the entire operation. In this video, we will cover the full spectrum. Strategic versus tactical. Incident escalation hierarchy. Business recovery metrics. Disaster recovery site strategy. The SANS/NIST incident response lifecycle. Detection, triage, and automation. The containment dilemma. Forensics and the order of volatility. Chain of custody. Eradication versus recovery. Testing methodologies. Post-incident review. And the CISM synthesis: you can outsource the tactical work, but you can never outsource accountability. Here is how this works. For each concept, I will explain it, give you questions, then share traps and tips. Pause, think, then come back. Domain 4 is not about being a better technician. It is about becoming a leader who can coordinate the response when the business is under attack. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you will know how to turn technical signals into coordinated business response. Let us get started. Let me start by clarifying a distinction that many professionals get wrong. Information security and incident management are not the same thing. They are related, but they serve different purposes. Understanding the difference is essential for the CISM exam and for building a resilient organization. Let me define each one. Information security is building the fortress. It is about prevention. It is about designing and implementing controls to stop incidents from happening in the first place. Information security is the firewall, the encryption, the access controls, the policies, the training. It is the day-to-day work of protecting the organization. Information security is proactive. Incident management is the fire drill. It is about response. It is about what you do when prevention fails. Incident management is the process of detecting, containing, eradicating, and recovering from incidents. It is about coordinating the response, communicating with stakeholders, and ensuring the business survives. Incident management is reactive. Here is the key insight. You cannot have one without the other. If you focus only on prevention, you will be unprepared when an incident occurs. If you focus only on response, you will be constantly fighting fires. You need both. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine a castle. Information security is the moat, the walls, the guards, and the gates. It is designed to keep the attackers out. Incident management is the fire drill. It is the plan for what happens when the attackers breach the walls. It is the evacuation plan, the communication plan, the recovery plan. From a business perspective, this means you must invest in both. Prevention reduces the frequency of incidents. Response reduces the impact when they occur. You cannot afford to neglect either. Now, let me ask you a question. A company implements firewalls, encryption, and access controls. What is this an example of? A. Incident management. B. Information security. C. Disaster recovery. D. Business continuity. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B, information security. Firewalls, encryption, and access controls are preventive controls. They are part of building the fortress. Incident management is about response. Disaster recovery is about restoring IT systems. Business continuity is about keeping the business running. Option A is incorrect because incident management is reactive. Option C is incorrect because disaster recovery is a subset of incident management. Option D is incorrect because business continuity is broader. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A company activates its incident response plan after a data breach. What is this an example of? A. Information security. B. Incident management. C. Risk assessment. D. Compliance. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Incident management. Incident management is the response to an incident. Information security is prevention. Risk assessment is identifying risks. Compliance is about following rules. Option A is incorrect because information security is prevention. Option C is incorrect because risk assessment is identification. Option D is incorrect because compliance is about rules. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company invests heavily in prevention but has no incident response plan. When a breach occurs, the business suffers significant damage. What is the primary lesson? A. Prevention is unnecessary. B. Incident management is just as important as prevention. C. The company should only focus on response. D. The attackers were too sophisticated. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Incident management is just as important as prevention. You cannot prevent everything. When prevention fails, you must be ready to respond. Option A is incorrect because prevention is necessary. Option C is incorrect because both are needed. Option D is incorrect because the root cause is the lack of response. Capability. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company has strong information security controls and a mature incident management program. However, after a major incident, the business struggled to recover because the incident management team did not coordinate with the business continuity team. What is the root cause? A. The incident management team was incompetent. B. Information security and incident management are not integrated with business continuity. C. The business continuity plan was not tested. D. The incident was too severe. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Information security and incident management are not integrated with business continuity. The incident management team focused on the technical response, but they did not coordinate with the business continuity team, which manages the broader business recovery. Option A is incorrect because competence is not the issue. Option C is incorrect because testing is not the root cause. Option D is incorrect because the incident severity is not the root cause. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, confusing information security with incident management. Information security is prevention. Incident management is response. They are not the same. Second, focusing only on prevention. You cannot prevent everything. You must also prepare for response. Third, forgetting to integrate incident management with business continuity. Incident management handles the technical response. Business continuity handles the business recovery. They must work together. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, invest in both prevention and response. They are equally important. Second, integrate incident management with business continuity. They are not separate functions. Third, test your incident management plan regularly. A plan that is not tested is not a plan. Let me introduce a distinction that is critical for the CISM exam. Incident management and incident response. They are not the same. One is strategic. The other is tactical. Understanding the difference is essential for effective crisis leadership. Let me define each one clearly. Incident management is strategic governance. It is the big picture. It focuses on planning, budget, risk alignment, business continuity, and post-crisis cleanup. Incident management is the general. It coordinates the overall response. It ensures the business survives. It handles communication with the board, regulators, and customers. Incident management is about command and control. Incident response is tactical execution. It is the front line. It focuses on immediate action, triage, containment, technical forensics, and eradication. Incident response is the frontline soldier. It stops the bleeding. It removes the threat. It restores systems. Incident response is about action. Here is the key insight. Incident management designs the sprinkler system. Incident response kicks down the door and fights the fire. You need both. But they require different skills and different mindsets. From a business perspective, this means you must have both strategic and tactical capabilities. The incident manager must be able to step back and see the big picture. The incident responder must be able to act quickly and decisively. Now, let me ask you a question. A security analyst isolates a compromised server to prevent lateral movement. What is this? A. Incident management. B. Incident response. C. Business continuity. D. Disaster recovery. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Incident response. Incident response is tactical execution. It is the immediate action to contain the threat. Incident management is strategic governance. Business continuity is about keeping the business running. Disaster recovery is about restoring IT systems. Option A is incorrect because incident management is strategic. Option C is incorrect because business continuity is broader. Option D is incorrect because disaster recovery is a subset. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. An incident manager coordinates communication with the board, updates the crisis communication plan, and ensures the business continuity team is engaged. What is this? A. Incident response. B. Incident management. C. Forensics. D. Eradication. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Incident management. Incident management is strategic governance. It handles coordination, communication, and business alignment. Incident response is tactical execution. Forensics is about evidence. Eradication is about removing the root cause. Option A is incorrect because incident response is tactical. Option C is incorrect because forensics is about evidence. Option D is incorrect because eradication is about removal. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company has a strong incident response team that can contain threats quickly. However, after each incident, the business struggles to recover because there is no strategic plan for resuming operations. What is missing? A. Incident response. B. Incident management. C. Forensics. D. Detection. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Incident management. Incident management provides the strategic governance that coordinates the overall response and recovery. Incident response is tactical. Forensics is about evidence. Detection is about finding incidents. Option A is incorrect because the company already has incident response. Option C is incorrect because forensics is about evidence. Option D is incorrect because detection is about finding incidents. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, Here is a more challenging question. A company has an incident manager who focuses only on the technical aspects of the incident, ignoring communication with the board and the business continuity team. After the incident, the business suffers reputational damage and regulatory fines. What is the root cause? A. The incident manager is not thinking strategically. B. The incident response team is incompetent. C. The detection tools are outdated. D. The incident was too severe. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. The incident manager is not thinking strategically. Incident management is strategic governance. It includes communication, business alignment, and coordination. The incident manager must think beyond the technical response. Option B is incorrect because the incident response team may be competent. Option C is incorrect because detection is not the root cause. Option D is incorrect because severity is not the root cause. So the correct answer is A. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, confusing incident management with incident response. Incident management is strategic. Incident response is tactical. They are not the same. Second, focusing only on the technical response. Incident management includes communication, business alignment, and coordination. Third, forgetting that incident management requires leadership skills. It is not just about technology. It is about managing the crisis. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, distinguish between strategic and tactical roles. Incident management is the general. Incident response is the frontline soldier. Second, ensure your incident manager has leadership and communication skills. They must be able to speak to the board. Third, integrate incident management with business continuity. They must work together to ensure business survival. Let me walk you through the progression of a disaster. Understanding this escalation hierarchy is essential for knowing when and how to respond. Incidents do not start as disasters. They escalate through stages. The earlier you catch them, the easier they are to manage. Let me define each stage. Event. An event is any observable occurrence in a system. A user logs in. A file is deleted. A firewall blocks a packet. Events are neutral. They happen constantly. Most events are normal. By themselves, they tell you nothing. Incident. An incident is an event that violates security policy. It is an event that you have confirmed as a security violation. For example, a user logs in from an unusual location. That is an event. If you investigate and confirm it is unauthorized access, it becomes an incident. An incident requires a response. Problem. A problem is when the incident persists or escalates beyond immediate resolution. It is not just a single event. It is an ongoing issue that cannot be resolved quickly. The initial containment may have worked, but the root cause is still unknown or the attack is still ongoing. A problem requires deeper investigation and a structured approach to find and fix the underlying cause. Disaster. A disaster is an incident that causes significant damage to the business. It is a crisis. It requires immediate and coordinated response. A disaster is not just a technical issue. It is a business issue. It threatens the survival of the organization. Disasters require incident management, not just incident response. Here is the key insight. The earlier you catch an incident, the less damage it causes. An event can be ignored. An incident must be investigated. A problem must be resolved. A disaster must be managed. From a business perspective, this means you must have processes for each stage. You need detection to identify events. You need triage to confirm incidents. You need problem management to resolve persistent issues. You need incident management to handle disasters. Now, let me ask you a question. A user logs into the system from an unusual location. What is this? A. Incident. B. Event. C. Problem. D. Disaster. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Event. The user login is an observable occurrence. It is not yet confirmed as a security violation. It becomes an incident only after investigation. A problem is when the incident persists. A disaster is a severe incident. Option A is incorrect because it is not yet confirmed. Option C is incorrect because it is not persistent. Option D is incorrect because it is not severe. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A security team contains a ransomware attack, but the attacker is still present in the network and the encryption continues. The team cannot resolve the issue quickly. What is this? A. Event. B. Incident. C. Problem. D. Disaster. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. Problem. The incident has persisted beyond immediate resolution. The team has not been able to fully resolve it. The problem requires deeper investigation. An event is an observable occurrence. An incident is a confirmed violation. A disaster is a crisis with significant business damage. Option A is incorrect because it is not an occurrence. Option B is incorrect because it is not just a violation. Option D is incorrect because it may not yet have caused significant business damage. So the correct answer is C. Now a third question. A company experiences a ransomware attack that encrypts all servers and halts operations. The business cannot function. What is this? A. Event. B. Incident. C. Problem. D. Disaster. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is D. Disaster. The ransomware attack has caused significant damage to the business. It is a crisis. It requires coordinated incident management. An event is an observable occurrence. An incident is a security violation. A problem is when the incident persists or escalates. Beyond immediate resolution. Option A is incorrect because it is not just an occurrence. Option B is incorrect because it is more severe than an incident. Option C is incorrect because it is not just a persistent issue, it is a crisis. So the correct answer is D. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company detects multiple failed login attempts from a single IP address. They investigate and confirm it is a brute force attack. They block the IP address and the attack stops. However, they do not investigate why the attacker was targeting them. A week later, the same attacker returns and successfully breaches the system. What went wrong? A. The failed login attempts were ignored. B. The team treated the incident as resolved and did not escalate to problem management. The incident persisted in the sense that the attacker returned. C. The attack was a disaster. D. The IP address was not blocked correctly. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The team treated the incident as resolved and did not escalate to problem management. The incident was contained, but the underlying issue was not resolved. The attacker returned. A problem is when the incident persists or escalates beyond immediate resolution. In this case, the incident persisted because the attacker returned. The team should have escalated to problem management to investigate the root cause. Option A is incorrect because the failed login attempts were not ignored. Option C is incorrect because the attack was not yet a disaster. Option D is incorrect because the IP address was blocked. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, treating every event as an incident. Not every event is a security violation. You must triage and confirm. Second, stopping at containment. If the incident persists or recurs, you have a problem. You must escalate to problem management. Third, failing to recognize when an incident becomes a disaster. Not every incident is a disaster. But when it causes significant business damage, you must escalate to disaster management. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, memorize the progression: event, incident, problem, disaster. Second, on the exam, if you see an observable occurrence, think event. If you see a confirmed violation, think incident. If you see a persistent or recurring issue, think problem. If you see significant business damage, think disaster. Third, ensure you have processes for each stage. Detection for events. Triage for incidents. Problem management for persistent issues. Incident management for disasters. Let me talk about the 3 numbers that define your recovery strategy. MTD, RPO, and RTO. These metrics are the language you use to tell the business what they can expect and what they must invest in. You need to understand each one for the CISM exam and for real-world recovery planning. Let me define each one clearly. MTD, maximum tolerable downtime. This is the drop-dead line. It is the absolute limit of outage before the business dies. If you exceed the MTD, the organization may fail permanently: bankruptcy, loss of customers, regulatory shutdown. The MTD is the point of no return. It is measured in time. RPO, recovery point objective. This is the maximum acceptable data loss. It defines how much data you can afford to lose. It is measured in time. RPO looks backwards. It is the distance between the last good backup and the disaster. It answers the question: how far back can we lose data and still survive? For example, an RPO of 1 hour means you can afford to lose up to 1 hour of data. RPO dictates your backup frequency strategy. The shorter the RPO, the more frequent the backups. RTO, recovery time objective. This is the target time to restore critical systems. RTO looks forwards. It is the distance between the disaster and the restoration of operations. It answers the question: how fast must we be back online? If your RTO is 4 hours, you need to have your systems operational within 4 hours after the disaster. RTO dictates your recovery site selection. A short RTO requires a hot site. A longer RTO may allow a cold site. Here is the critical relationship. RTO must be strictly shorter than MTD. If your RTO is longer than your MTD, your recovery plan is worthless. You will never recover fast enough to save the business. Here is a concrete example. Imagine an e-commerce company. The business says, we cannot afford to lose more than 15 minutes of transaction data. That is an RPO of 15 minutes. The IT team must back up transaction logs at least every 15 minutes. RPO looks backwards. It is the distance from the last backup to the disaster. The business also says, we cannot afford to be offline for more than 2 hours during peak shopping season. That is an RTO of 2 hours. The IT team must have a recovery strategy that brings the system back online within 2 hours. RTO looks forwards. It is the distance from the disaster to restoration. The business also says, if we are offline for more than 6 hours, we will lose so many customers that we may not survive. That is an MTD of 6 hours. RTO of 2 hours is less than MTD of 6 hours, so the plan works. From a business perspective, these metrics drive investment. They determine how much you spend on backups, recovery sites, and incident response capabilities. You must negotiate these numbers with the business. They decide how much they can lose and how long they can wait. Now, let me ask you a question. A company backs up its database every hour. What is the RPO? A. 1 hour. B. 24 hours. C. 1 minute. D. It depends on the disaster. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is a 1 hour. The RPO is the maximum acceptable data loss. If you back up every hour, you can afford to lose up to 1 hour of data. Option B is incorrect because 24 hours would require daily backups. Option C is incorrect because 1 minute would require backups every minute. Option D is incorrect because RPO is defined by backup frequency. So the correct answer is A. Now, let me ask you another question. A company has an MTD of 48 hours for its order processing system. Which of the following RTOs would be acceptable? A. 72 hours. B. 48 hours. C. 36 hours. D. 60 hours. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. 36 hours. RTO must be strictly shorter than MTD. 36 hours is less than 48. Option B, 48 hours, is equal, but equal is risky because any delay exceeds MTD. Best practice is RTO significantly shorter than MTD. Options A and D exceed MTD and are unacceptable. So the correct answer is C. Now A. Third question. A disaster occurs at 2 p.m. The last backup completed at 1 p.m. The RPO is 1 hour. How much data loss is acceptable? A. 0 minutes. B. 1 hour. C. 2 hours. D. Cannot be determined. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. 1 hour. The RPO defines the maximum acceptable data loss. Since the last backup was at 1 p.m., any transactions between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. could be lost. That is 1 hour of potential data loss, which is within the RPO. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company has an RTO of 2 hours, an RPO of 15 minutes, and an MTD of 6 hours. They implement a hot site that can restore within 1 hour. However, they back up transaction logs every hour. How much data is lost and is the recovery plan acceptable? A. 15 minutes lost, plan is acceptable. B. 1 hour lost, plan is not acceptable because the RPO is exceeded. C. 2 hours lost, plan is acceptable. D. 6 hours lost, plan is not acceptable. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. 1 hour lost, plan is not acceptable because the RPO is exceeded. The RPO is 15 minutes, but the backup frequency is every hour. The actual data loss is 1 hour, which exceeds the RPO. The company must back up more frequently. The RTO of 2 hours is met because the hot site restores within 1 hour. The MTD of 6 hours is not exceeded. But the RPO is the failure point. Option A is incorrect because the loss is 1 hour, not 15 minutes. Option C is incorrect because the plan is not acceptable. Option D is incorrect because the loss is not 6 hours. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, confusing RPO with RTO. RPO is about data loss and looks backwards. RTO is about downtime and looks forwards. They are not the same. Second, setting RTO equal to or longer than MTD. That is a fatal mistake. Your recovery plan will never save the business. Third, forgetting that RPO, RTO, and MTD must be aligned with business requirements. The business decides. IT executes. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, memorize the definitions. RPO equals data loss, backwards, backup frequency. RTO equals downtime, forwards, recovery speed. MTD equals survival limit, point of no return. RTO must be less than MTD. Second, on the exam, if you see a question about data loss, think RPO. If you see a question about time to recover, think RTO. If you see a question about business survival, think MTD. Third, negotiate these metrics with the business. They decide how much they can lose and how long they can wait. IT decides how to meet those targets. Now that you understand RPO, RTO, and MTD, let me show you how those numbers translate into real infrastructure. Your RTO determines what kind of recovery site you need. The faster you need to recover, the more expensive the site. There are 3 tiers: cold, warm, and hot. Let me define each one. Cold site. This is an empty building with power, cooling, and network connectivity. No hardware. No data. No configured systems. If you need to recover here, you have to bring your own servers, install your own software, and restore your own data from backups. A cold site might take days or even weeks to become operational. It is cheap, but it only works if your RTO is measured in days, not hours. You would use a cold site for non-critical systems that can tolerate long outages. Warm site. This is a partially equipped facility. The hardware is already there: servers, storage, network gear. But the systems are not running, and the data is not current. You need to load your software, update configurations, and restore recent backups. A warm site might take hours to a day to become operational. It is more expensive than a cold site but much faster. You would use a warm site for moderately critical systems with an RTO measured in hours. Hot site. This is a fully operational, real-time replica of your primary data center. Systems are running, data is synchronized continuously or near continuously, and the site can take over production within minutes. A hot site is the most expensive option, but it supports very aggressive RTOs, measured in minutes. You would use a hot site for mission-critical systems where every minute of downtime costs a fortune. Here is a critical warning. Beware of first come, first served commercial site contracts. These are a critical deficiency during regional disasters. If a hurricane hits an entire region, multiple companies will try to activate their recovery sites at the same time. If your contract does not guarantee dedicated capacity, you may be left waiting. You must ensure your contract includes dedicated capacity, not just shared availability. From a business perspective, this means you must match the site to the RTO. And you must read the contract carefully. Do not assume that a commercial recovery site will be available when you need it. Now, let me ask you a question. A company has an RTO of 2 hours for its customer database. Which type of recovery site is most appropriate? A. Cold site. B. Warm site. C. Hot site. D. No site needed. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. Hot site. A 2-hour RTO is very aggressive. A cold site would take days. A warm site might take hours to a day. A hot site can restore in minutes. So the correct answer is C. Now, let me ask you another question. A company has a cold site for its archive storage. They have an RTO of 7 days for that data. Is this appropriate? A. Yes, because the RTO aligns with the cold site capability. B. No, because cold sites are too expensive. C. No, because cold sites have no power. D. Yes, but only for financial data. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is a yes, because the RTO aligns with the cold site capability. Cold sites can take days to weeks to become operational. If the business can tolerate a 7-day outage, a cold site is appropriate and cost-effective. So the correct answer is A. Now a third question. A company signs a contract with a commercial recovery site provider. The contract is first come, first served, for capacity. During a regional disaster, the company cannot activate their recovery site because another company has claimed the capacity. What is the root cause? A. The company did not have a hot site. B. The company's RTO was too short. C. The contract lacked dedicated capacity. D. The disaster was too severe. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. The contract lacked dedicated capacity. First come, first served contracts are a critical deficiency during regional disasters. The company must ensure dedicated capacity. Option A is incorrect because a hot site would not solve the capacity issue. Option B is incorrect because RTO is not the issue. Option D is incorrect because severity is not the root cause. So the correct answer is C. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company has a warm site with an RTO of 8 hours. They test the site annually and it meets the RTO. During a regional disaster, the company cannot activate the site because the provider has shared capacity and another company is using it. The company's RTO is exceeded, and the business suffers significant losses. What should the company have done differently? A. Purchased a hot site. B. Negotiated a dedicated capacity contract and tested the failover with the provider. C. Increased the RTO to 24 hours. D. Moved to a cold site. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Negotiated a dedicated capacity contract and tested the failover with the provider. The warm site's RTO was achievable, but the capacity was not guaranteed. The company needed dedicated capacity. Option A is incorrect because a hot site would not solve the capacity issue. Option C is incorrect because increasing the RTO would not solve the capacity issue. Option D is incorrect because a cold site would make it worse. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, assuming that a commercial recovery site will always be available. Regional disasters create demand spikes. Ensure dedicated capacity. Second, matching the site to the RTO but ignoring contract terms. Read the contract carefully. Look for capacity guarantees. Third, forgetting to test the recovery site with the provider. A site that has never been tested is not a site. It is a hope. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, choose the site based on your RTO. Hot site for minutes. Warm site for hours. Cold site for days. Second, ensure your contract includes dedicated capacity. Do not accept first come, first served. Third, test your recovery site regularly. Include the provider in your tests. Let me walk you through the process that turns chaos into control. The incident response lifecycle, as defined by SANS and NIST, is the blueprint for responding to incidents. It is a continuous loop. You do not just respond and stop. You learn and improve. The lifecycle has 6 phases. Let me define each one. Preparation. This is where you do your work before anything happens. You write your incident response plan. You build your team. You establish your tools. You create playbooks. You train your staff. The teams that recover in hours instead of weeks did their hardest work in the preparation phase, before the incident ever started. Detection and identification. This is where you detect and confirm the incident. You collect logs. You correlate alerts. You validate that the incident is real. This is the most critical human step. The incident manager must confirm the incident is real before triggering business disruption or notifying executives. You must avoid the false positive panic. False positives waste time and erode trust. But a false negative, missing a real incident, can be catastrophic. Containment. This is where you stop the bleeding. You isolate affected systems. You pull the network cable. You block IP addresses. The goal is to prevent the incident from spreading while you prepare to remove the root cause. Containment is not just about technology. It is a business decision. Shutting down a revenue-generating system creates a self-inflicted denial of service. Containment requires management sign-off. Eradication. This is where you remove the root cause. You delete the malware. You patch the vulnerability. You close the backdoor. You reset passwords. You only do this after containment. If you eradicate before containing, the attacker may still be moving laterally, and you will be playing whack-a-mole. Recovery. This is where you bring systems back online. You restore from clean backups. You verify that the systems are functioning normally. You monitor for any signs that the attacker has returned. Recovery is not done until business operations are back to normal. Lessons learned. This is the phase that most organizations skip. After the incident is closed, you hold a post-incident review. You ask what went well. You ask what did not go well. You ask what would you do differently. You update your playbooks, your policies, and your training. Skipping lessons learned means you pay the full price of the breach but keep none of the defensive value. Here is the key insight. The life cycle is a continuous loop. You do not stop at recovery. You learn and improve. You take the lessons learned and feed them back into preparation. That is how you get better. From a business perspective, this means you must invest in every phase. Do not focus only on response. Preparation is where you get the most value. Lessons learned is where you get better. Now, let me ask you a question. A company writes incident response playbooks, establishes a CERT, and creates offline backups. What phase of the life cycle is this? A. Detection and identification. B. Containment. C. Preparation. D. Recovery. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. Preparation. All of these activities happen before any incident occurs. Detection and identification is about detecting and confirming. Containment is about stopping. Recovery is about restoring. Option A is incorrect because detection and identification is about detection. Option B is incorrect because containment is about stopping. Option D is incorrect because recovery is about restoring. So the correct answer is C. Now, let me ask you another question. During a ransomware attack, a security analyst disconnects the affected server from the network to prevent the malware from spreading. What phase is this? A. Detection and identification. B. Containment. C. Eradication. D. Recovery. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Containment. The analyst is stopping the bleeding by isolating the affected system. Detection and identification is about detection. Eradication is about removing the root cause. Recovery is about restoring. Option A is incorrect because detection and identification is about detection. Option C is incorrect because eradication is about removal. Option D is incorrect because recovery is about restoration. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. After an incident is closed, the team meets to discuss what went well and what could be improved. They update their playbooks based on what they learned. What phase is this? A. Lessons learned. B. Eradication. C. Containment. D. Detection and identification. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. Lessons learned. This is the phase that closes the loop. Eradication is about removing the root cause. Containment is about stopping the spread. Detection and identification is about detection. Option B is incorrect because eradication is about removal. Option C is incorrect because containment is about stopping. Option D is incorrect because detection and identification is about detection. So the correct answer is A. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company detects a breach. The incident response team immediately isolates the affected systems. While containment is ongoing, the team begins deleting malware files from the contained systems. Is this correct? A. Yes, because eradication should start as soon as possible. B. No, because containment must be fully completed before eradication begins. C. Yes, because containment and eradication can happen simultaneously. D. No, because recovery should come before eradication. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. No, containment must be fully completed before eradication begins. If you start deleting files while containment is still ongoing, you may miss other compromised systems or destroy evidence. Containment first, then eradication. Option A is incorrect. Option C is incorrect because they should not happen simultaneously. Option D is incorrect because recovery comes after eradication. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, skipping the preparation phase. Many organizations only think about incident response after they have a breach. Prepare before the incident. Second, confusing containment and eradication. Containment stops the bleeding. Eradication removes the cause. You cannot eradicate a cancer that is still spreading. Contain first, then eradicate. Third, skipping lessons learned. If you do not learn from an incident, you will repeat it. The post-incident review is where you get better. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, memorize the 6 phases in order: preparation, detection and identification, containment, eradication, recovery, lessons learned. Second, on the exam, if you see activities like writing playbooks or backing up systems, think preparation. If you see isolating systems, think containment. If you see removing malware, think eradication. If you see restoring from backups, think recovery. If you see a post-incident meeting, think lessons learned. Third, treat the lifecycle as a continuous loop. Learn from every incident and improve. Now that you understand the incident response lifecycle, let me zoom in on the detection and triage phase. This is where you turn noise into action. You cannot respond to every alert. You must filter, correlate, and validate. Automation helps you scale. But the most critical step is human validation. Let me walk you through 3 key concepts. Normalization and correlation. CISM tools translate thousands of disparate logs into readable patterns. Different systems produce logs in different formats. A CISM normalizes them into a common format. Then it correlates events across systems. It looks for patterns that might indicate an attack. For example, a failed login from one system is not suspicious. But a failed login from multiple systems in a short time might be a brute force attack. The CISM correlates those events and generates an alert. Validation. This is the most critical human step. The incident manager must confirm the incident is real before triggering business disruption or notifying executives. You must avoid the false positive panic. False positives waste time and erode trust. But a false negative, missing a real incident, can be catastrophic. Validation is about triage. You investigate the alert. You gather more data. You confirm that the incident is real before escalating. Automation. Automation helps you scale. It can handle routine tasks like log collection, initial triage, and even some containment actions. For example, automation can block known malicious IP addresses. But automation cannot replace human judgment. You need humans for validation and complex decision-making. From a business perspective, this means you must invest in both technology and human skills. CISM tools are essential. But they are only as good as the analysts who use them. Validation is the critical bridge between automation and action. Now, let me ask you a question. A CISM tool collects logs from multiple systems, translates them into a common format, and identifies patterns that might indicate an attack. What is this called? A. Normalization and correlation. B. Validation. C. Automation. D. Triage. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. Normalization and correlation. Normalization translates logs into a common format. Correlation identifies patterns across systems. Validation is the human confirmation step. Automation is about automated actions. Triage is prioritization. Option B is incorrect because validation is the human step. Option C is incorrect because automation is about actions. Option D is incorrect because triage is about prioritization. So the correct answer is A. Now, let me ask you another question. An incident manager receives an alert from the CISM. She investigates the alert, gathers more data, and confirms that it is a real security incident. What is this step called? A. Normalization. B. Correlation. C. Validation. D. Automation. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. Validation. Validation is the human confirmation step. The incident manager confirms the incident is real before escalating. Normalization is about formatting logs. Correlation is about identifying patterns. Automation is about automated actions. Option A is incorrect because normalization is about formatting. Option B is incorrect because correlation is about patterns. Option D is incorrect because automation is about actions. So the correct answer is C. Now a third question. A company implements automation to block known malicious IP addresses. However, the automation also blocks a legitimate business partner's IP address, causing a service disruption. What is the root cause? A. The automation was not configured correctly. B. The automation lacked human validation. C. The CISM was not normalized. D. The logs were not correlated. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The automation lacked human validation. Automation should be used for routine tasks, but critical actions like blocking IP addresses should have human validation. The automation did not confirm that the IP was malicious. Option A is a symptom. Option C is incorrect because normalization is about formatting. Option D is incorrect because correlation is about patterns. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company has a CISM that generates thousands of alerts per day. The security team investigates each alert manually and confirms that 95% are false positives. The team is overwhelmed and misses a real incident. What is the most effective solution? A. Add more staff. B. Implement automation for initial triage and use human validation for escalated alerts. C. Disable the CISM to reduce noise. D. Increase the number of alerts. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Implement automation for initial triage and use human validation for escalated alerts. Automation can handle routine tasks like initial triage. Human validation is reserved for escalated alerts. Option A is not a scalable solution. Option C is dangerous. Option D is counterproductive. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, automating without human validation. Automation is powerful, but it can cause false positives. Always validate critical actions. Second, ignoring validation. You must confirm that an incident is real before escalating. False positives waste time and erode trust. Third, drowning in alerts without triage. You cannot investigate every alert. Use automation and triage to prioritize. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, implement a CISM for normalization and correlation. It is essential for scaling detection. Second, build a validation process. Confirm incidents before escalating. Third, use automation for routine tasks. Reserve human judgment for critical decisions. Let me talk about one of the most difficult decisions you will face during an incident. Containment. It sounds simple. Isolate the affected systems. Stop the bleeding. But it is not that simple. Containment is a business risk decision, not just an IT one. Shutting down a revenue-generating system creates a self-inflicted denial of service. It requires management sign-off. Let me break down the dilemma. On one hand, you need to stop the attack quickly. The longer you wait, the more damage the attacker can do. The attacker may be moving laterally, stealing data, or encrypting systems. Speed is critical. You must contain fast. On the other hand, containment can cause business disruption. If you pull the plug on a critical system, you may shut down operations. Customers may be unable to place orders. Employees may be unable to work. The business may lose revenue. Containment is not just a technical decision. It is a business decision. Here is the key insight. You must balance speed and business impact. You cannot contain without considering the business consequences. You need management sign-off. The incident manager must communicate the trade-offs to leadership. The business must decide how much disruption they are willing to accept. Let me give you an example. A ransomware attack is encrypting servers. You can isolate the entire network. That would stop the attack. But it would also shut down all business operations. Or you can isolate only the affected servers. That would take longer, but it would keep the rest of the business running. The decision is not technical. It is business. From a business perspective, this means you must have a containment strategy that balances speed and business impact. You must have clear escalation procedures. You must have management sign-off. And you must practice containment decisions in tabletop exercises. Now, let me ask you a question. A security analyst identifies a compromised server. The server is critical to business operations. The analyst recommends isolating the server immediately. What is the most important consideration? A. The speed of containment. B. The business impact of isolating the server. C. The attacker's motivation. D. The cost of the server. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The business impact of isolating the server. Containment is a business decision. You must consider the impact on operations. Speed is important, but not at the expense of the business. Option A is important but not the most important. Option C is irrelevant. Option D is irrelevant. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. An incident manager recommends isolating a compromised system. The business leader asks, what is the impact of isolating this system? The incident manager explains that isolating the system will cause a temporary outage but will stop the attack. The business leader approves the containment. What does this demonstrate? A. The incident manager is not technical. B. Containment requires management sign-off and business alignment. C. The business leader is risk-averse. D. The incident manager is too cautious. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Containment requires management sign-off and business alignment. The incident manager communicated the trade-offs. The business leader made the decision. Option A is incorrect. Option C is incorrect. Option D is incorrect. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company contains a ransomware attack by isolating the entire network. The attack stops, but the business is offline for 3 days. The company loses $5 million in revenue. What could have been done differently? A. The company should have isolated only the affected systems, not the entire network. B. The company should have ignored the attack. C. The company should have paid the ransom. D. The company should have no containment plan. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. The company should have isolated only the affected systems, not the entire network. The containment decision should have considered business impact. Isolating the entire network stopped the attack but caused significant business damage. Option B is incorrect. Option C is incorrect. Option D is incorrect. So the correct answer is A. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company detects a sophisticated attacker inside the network. The attacker is moving laterally and exfiltrating data. The incident manager recommends immediate containment. The business leader hesitates because containment will shut down a critical system. The incident manager explains that delay will allow the attacker to steal more data. The business leader approves containment. What is the primary lesson? A. Containment is always the right decision. B. Containment requires balancing speed and business impact, with clear communication and sign-off. C. The business leader should always approve containment. D. The incident manager should act without approval. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Containment requires balancing speed and business impact, with clear communication and sign-off. The incident manager communicated the trade-offs. The business leader made the decision. Option A is incorrect because containment is not always the right decision. Option C is incorrect because the business leader must consider the impact. Option D is incorrect because acting without approval is dangerous. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, treating containment as purely technical. Containment is a business decision. You must consider the impact on operations. Second, delaying containment because of business impact. Speed is critical. You must balance speed and impact. Third, failing to get management sign-off. Containment decisions must be escalated. The business must accept the risk. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, develop a containment strategy that balances speed and business impact. Have clear escalation procedures. Second, communicate trade-offs clearly to leadership. Explain the impact of containment and the risk of delay. Third, practice containment decisions in tabletop exercises. Prepare the business for difficult decisions. Let me talk about the forensic side of incident response. When you need to investigate an incident, you must preserve evidence. But not all evidence is equally fragile. Some evidence disappears quickly. You must capture the most volatile data first. This is the order of volatility. Let me define the order. Volatile data, RAM. This is the most volatile. It must be captured first on a live system. RAM contains active malware processes, network connections, and encryption keys. If you power off the system, you lose this data. You must capture a memory image before you shut down the system. Network state. This is the next most volatile. It includes active network connections, open ports, and routing tables. This data can change rapidly. You must capture it early. Disk data. This is less volatile. It includes files, logs, and system configurations. Disk data is persistent. It does not disappear when you power off the system. But you must handle it carefully to avoid altering evidence. Bit-by-bit imaging. You never analyze the original disk. You create a sector-by-sector forensic copy. This captures hidden data and slack space without altering timestamps. The forensic copy is the evidence. The original disk is preserved. Here is the key insight. You must capture volatile data first. If you power off the system, you lose valuable evidence. You may lose the attacker's active processes, encryption keys, or network connections. From a business perspective, this means you must have a forensic plan. You must know how to capture memory images. You must have the tools to create forensic copies. And you must train your team to follow the order of volatility. Now, let me ask you a question. A security analyst discovers a compromised server. The analyst wants to preserve evidence. What should they capture first? A. The hard drive. B. The RAM. C. The system logs. D. The network configuration. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The RAM. RAM is the most volatile. It contains active processes, network connections, and encryption keys. You must capture it before powering off the system. Option A is incorrect because the hard drive is less volatile. Option C is incorrect because logs are less volatile. Option D is incorrect because network configuration is less volatile. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A forensic investigator creates a sector-by-sector copy of a hard drive. They analyze the copy, not the original. What is this called? A. Memory imaging. B. Bit-by-bit imaging. C. Log analysis. D. Network capture. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Bit-by-bit imaging. Bit-by-bit imaging creates a sector-by-sector forensic copy. It captures hidden data and slack space without altering timestamps. Memory imaging is for RAM. Log analysis is for logs. Network capture is for network traffic. Option A is incorrect because memory imaging is for RAM. Option C is incorrect because log analysis is for logs. Option D is incorrect because network capture is for network traffic. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A security team powers off a compromised server to contain the incident. Later, they realize they lost critical evidence. What did they lose? A. The hard drive data. B. The RAM data. C. The system logs. D. The configuration files. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The RAM data. RAM is volatile. It contains active processes, network connections, and encryption keys. When you power off the system, you lose this data. Option A is incorrect because hard drive data is persistent. Option C is incorrect because logs are persistent. Option D is incorrect because configuration files are persistent. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A forensic investigator arrives at a compromised server. The server is still running. The investigator must preserve evidence. What is the correct order of actions? A. Capture. RAM, capture network state, create bit-by-bit image of the hard drive, then power off the system. B. Power off the system, then capture the hard drive. C. Capture the hard drive first, then the RAM. D. Ignore the RAM and capture only the hard drive. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. Capture RAM, capture network state, create bit-by-bit image of the hard drive, then power off the system. RAM is the most volatile. Capture it first. Then capture network state. Then create a forensic copy of the hard drive. Only after capturing volatile data do you power off the system. Option B is incorrect because powering off first destroys RAM. Option C is incorrect because RAM is more volatile. Option D is incorrect because RAM is critical evidence. So the correct answer is A. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, powering off a system before capturing RAM. You lose critical evidence. Capture memory first. Second, analyzing the original disk. Always create a bit-by-bit copy. Never alter the original. Third, ignoring volatile data. Volatile data contains active processes, network connections, and encryption keys. It is often the most valuable evidence. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, memorize the order of volatility: RAM, most volatile; network state, disk data, least volatile. Second, capture RAM before powering off a system. Use memory imaging tools. Third, create bit-by-bit forensic copies. Never analyze the original disk. Let me talk about the legal side of evidence. You can have the best forensic evidence in the world. But if you cannot prove that the evidence is authentic, it is worthless. That is where chain of custody comes in. It is the legal shield that protects your evidence. Let me define it clearly. Chain of custody is the unbroken, meticulously documented paper trail. It records who handled the evidence, when, and how. From the moment you seize a device to the moment it is presented in court, every single person who touches it must be logged. The chain must be unbroken. Hashing, CISM 256, provides cryptographic proof. When you create a forensic copy, you generate a cryptographic hash. For example, CISM 256. This hash is a unique fingerprint of the evidence. If the evidence is altered, the hash changes. The hash proves that the evidence is completely unaltered from the original. The consequence. A broken chain means evidence is legally inadmissible. If the chain is broken, the evidence cannot be used in court. This neuters criminal prosecution and cyber insurance claims. You must comply with local regulations. Here is the key insight. Chain of custody is not optional. It is essential for legal admissibility. You must document every step. You must use hashing to prove integrity. From a business perspective, this means you must have a chain of custody procedure. You must train your team. You must document everything. Now, let me ask you a question. A forensic investigator seizes a hard drive. The investigator documents who handled the drive, when, and how. What is this called? A. Hashing. B. Chain of custody. C. Bit-by-bit imaging. D. Memory capture. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Chain of custody. Chain of custody is the documented trail of who handled the evidence, when, and how. Hashing is cryptographic proof of integrity. Bit-by-bit imaging is creating a forensic copy. Memory capture is capturing RAM. Option A is incorrect because hashing is about integrity. Option C is incorrect because imaging is about copying. Option D is incorrect because memory capture is about RAM. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A forensic investigator creates a bit-by-bit copy of a hard drive. They generate a CISM 256 hash of the original and the copy. The hashes match. What does this prove? A. The evidence was handled properly. B. The copy is identical to the original and has not been altered. C. The chain of custody is unbroken. D. The investigator is certified. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The copy is identical to the original and has not been altered. The hash proves integrity. It does not prove chain of custody. It does not prove the investigator is certified. Option A is incorrect because chain of custody is about the paper trail. Option C is incorrect because hash does not prove chain of custody. Option D is incorrect because hash does not prove certification. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company's forensic evidence is rejected in court because the chain of custody was broken. What is the primary consequence? A. The evidence is admissible. B. The evidence is inadmissible, neutering criminal prosecution and cyber insurance claims. C. The company is fined. D. The forensic investigator is fired. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B, the evidence is inadmissible, neutering criminal prosecution and cyber insurance claims. A broken chain of custody means the evidence cannot be used in court. This harms prosecution and insurance claims. Option A is incorrect because the evidence is not admissible. Option C is not the primary consequence. Option D is not the primary consequence. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company seizes a laptop as evidence. The forensic team creates a bit-by-bit copy and generates a SHA-256 hash. The chain of custody is documented. However, the original laptop is stored in an unsecured location, and someone accesses it without authorization. The chain of custody is broken. What is the impact? A. The evidence is still admissible because the hash proves integrity. B. The evidence is inadmissible because the chain of custody is broken, even though the hash matches. C. The evidence is admissible because the hash is more important than chain of custody. D. The evidence is inadmissible only if the hash changes. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The evidence is inadmissible because the chain of custody is broken, even though the hash matches. Chain of custody is essential for admissibility. The hash proves integrity, but it does not prove that the evidence was handled properly. Option A is incorrect because chain of custody is required. Option C is incorrect because chain of custody is more important than hash in this context. Option D is incorrect because the chain can be broken even if the hash matches. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, thinking that hashing replaces chain of custody. Hashing proves integrity. Chain of custody proves handling. You need both. Second, failing to document every step. The chain must be unbroken. Every person who handles the evidence must be logged. Third, storing evidence in unsecured locations. The chain of custody requires physical security. Evidence must be protected. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, document every step of the chain of custody. Who, when, and how. Second, use hashing, SHA-256, to prove integrity. Generate and store the hash. Third, secure the evidence physically. Access must be controlled and logged. Let me clarify a distinction that is critical for the CISM exam and for effective incident response. Eradication and recovery. They are not the same. One removes the root cause. The other restores operations. You must do them in the right order. Let me define each one clearly. Eradication is removing the root cause. This is where you patch vulnerabilities, close backdoors, and eliminate malicious artifacts. You delete the malware. You reset passwords. You fix the misconfiguration. Eradication is about making sure the attacker cannot come back the same way. If you skip eradication, the attacker will return. Recovery is the phased return to normal operations. This is where you bring systems back online. You restore from clean backups. You verify that the systems are functioning normally. You monitor for any signs that the attacker has returned. Recovery is not done until business operations are back to normal. Here is the warning. Never restore data from a compromised backup without scanning. If eradication is skipped, the restored system will immediately reinfect. You must ensure that the backups are clean before you restore. Here is the key insight. Eradication must come before recovery. You cannot recover a system that is still infected. You must remove the root cause first. Then you restore operations. From a business perspective, this means you must have a clear process. Eradication first. Recovery second. And you must verify that the backups are clean. Now, let me ask you a question. A company removes malware from an infected server. Then they restore data from backups. What is the order of operations? A. Recovery first, then eradication. B. Eradication first, then recovery. C. Simultaneously. D. Neither. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Eradication first, then recovery. You must remove the root cause before you restore operations. Recovery first would reinfect the system. Option A is incorrect because recovery first is dangerous. Option C is incorrect because they should not be simultaneous. Option D is incorrect because both are needed. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A company restores data from backups after a ransomware attack. A week later, the same ransomware reappears. What is the most likely cause? A. The backups were compromised. B. The eradication was incomplete. C. The recovery was too fast. D. The attacker returned. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The eradication was incomplete. If eradication is skipped or incomplete, the restored system will reinfect. The backups may be clean, but the root cause was not removed. Option A is possible but less likely. Option C is not the root cause. Option D is possible but not the most likely. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company is recovering from a ransomware attack. They have identified clean backups and are ready to restore systems. What should they do before restoring? A. Scan the backups to ensure they are clean. B. Restore immediately. C. Ignore the backups. D. Pay the ransom. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is A. Scan the backups to ensure they are clean. You must verify that the backups are not compromised before restoring. Restoring immediately could reinfect the system. Ignoring the backups is not an option. Paying the ransom is not recommended. So the correct answer is A. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company contains a sophisticated attack. The incident response team eradicates the malware and patches the vulnerability. They restore data from backups and bring systems back online. However, a month later, the attacker returns using a different vulnerability. What is the root cause? A. The eradication was incomplete. B. The recovery was too fast. C. The root cause analysis did not identify the attacker's entry point. The team only addressed the symptom, not the underlying issue. D. The backups were compromised. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. The root cause analysis did not identify the attacker's entry point. The team only addressed the symptom, not the underlying issue. Eradication is not just removing malware. It is finding and fixing the root cause. If you do not find the entry point, the attacker will return. Option A is incorrect because eradication was complete for that vulnerability. Option B is incorrect because recovery speed is not the issue. Option D is incorrect because the backups were clean. So the correct answer is C. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, skipping eradication and going straight to recovery. You cannot recover a system that is still infected. Eradicate first. Second, restoring from compromised backups. Always scan backups before restoring. Third, stopping at technical eradication. Eradication must include root cause analysis. If you do not find the entry point, the attacker will return. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, always eradicate before recovery. Remove the root cause first. Second, scan backups before restoring. Ensure they are clean. Third, conduct root cause analysis. Find the entry point. Fix the underlying issue. You have a plan. You have backups. You have a recovery site. But if you have never tested them, you do not have a disaster recovery capability, you have a disaster recovery fantasy. Testing is not optional. It is how you prove that your plan works, that your team knows what to do, and that your RTOs are achievable. There are 4 levels of testing, from lowest risk to highest risk. Let me walk you through each one. Read through. This is the simplest test. You hand out the disaster recovery plan to the team and ask them to read it. That is it. No roleplay. No system changes. 0 operational risk. The value is minimal, you confirm that people have read the document. But you do not know if they understand it or if the document is correct. Simulation. This is a functional exercise with physical movement, but production systems remain untouched. You might simulate a network outage by disconnecting a test lab. The team physically goes through the motions, they go to the backup site, they power on equipment, they run scripts. But they do not cut over production. This gives you confidence that the procedures work without risking real downtime. Parallel. This is the first test that involves production systems. You bring the recovery site online and run it alongside your primary site. The recovery site processes live traffic or real data, but the primary site remains active. If something goes wrong, you simply fail back to the primary. Parallel testing safely tests actual load and real data processing. It is the most realistic test that still has a safety net. Full interruption. This is the highest risk test. You actually shut down the primary site and fail over to the recovery site. Production runs from the recovery site for a period of time, then you fail back. This is the only test that truly validates your RTO and RPO. But if the test fails, you have a real outage. Full interruption testing is usually done only after successful parallel tests and only for non-critical systems first. Here is the key insight. You do not start with full interruption. You start with read-through. Then simulation. Then parallel. Then, if you must, full interruption. The manager rule is to always validate a new plan with the least disruptive method first. And here is the success metric. A test is only successful if operations are restored within the RTO. If you restore within the RTO, the test is a success. If you do not, the test has failed, and you must investigate why and fix the gaps. The RTO is not just a target, it is the measure of success. From a business perspective, the most common mistake is skipping testing entirely because it is too disruptive. Then a real disaster happens, and your plan fails. A failed test is a learning opportunity. A failed disaster is a catastrophe. Now, let me ask you a question. A team gathers in a conference room and walks through a disaster scenario without touching any systems. What testing method is this? A. Read-through. B. Simulation. C. Parallel. D. Full interruption. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is a read-through. The team is reading and discussing the plan without executing it. Simulation involves physical movement. Parallel involves live systems. Full interruption shuts down the primary. Option B is incorrect because simulation involves physical movement. Option C is incorrect because parallel involves live systems. Option D is incorrect because full interruption shuts down the primary. So the correct answer is A. Now, let me ask you another question. A company brings its recovery site online and processes live traffic alongside the primary site. If something fails, they can instantly switch back. What testing method is this? A. Simulation. B. Parallel. C. Full interruption. D. Read-through. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Parallel. The recovery site runs alongside production. Simulation does not use live traffic. Full interruption shuts down the primary. Read-through is just reading. Option A is incorrect because simulation does not use live traffic. Option C is incorrect because full interruption shuts down the primary. Option D is incorrect because read-through is just reading. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. What is the success metric for a disaster recovery test? A. The test was completed without errors. B. Operations were restored within the RTO. C. The team followed the plan. D. The test was documented. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Operations were restored within the RTO. The RTO is the measure of success. Option A is incorrect because you can complete a test without errors and still miss the RTO. Option C is incorrect because following the plan is not enough. Option D is incorrect because documentation is not the measure of success. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company runs a full interruption test on its e-commerce platform. The test takes 6 hours to complete. The RTO is 4 hours. The team followed the plan and documented everything. Is the test a success? A. Yes, because the team followed the plan. B. Yes, because the test was documented. C. No, because operations were not restored within the RTO. D. Yes, because the test was completed. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. No, because operations were not restored within the RTO. The success metric is restoring operations within the RTO. Option A is incorrect because following the plan is not the measure. Option B is incorrect because documentation is not the measure. Option D is incorrect because completion is not the measure. So the correct answer is C. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, skipping read-through and going straight to full interruption. That is like learning to swim by jumping into the deep end. Start small. Second, running a test but not measuring against the RTO. The RTO is the success metric. If you do not measure it, you do not know if you succeeded. Third, fixing only the technical issues and ignoring the procedural issues. A failed test often reveals that people did not know their roles. Update your playbooks and retrain. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, memorize the 4 testing levels in order of increasing risk: read-through, simulation, parallel, full interruption. Second, always measure success against the RTO. If you do not restore within the RTO, the test has failed. Third, test at least annually. Do not wait for a disaster to find out your plan does not work. Let me talk about the phase that most organizations skip. The post-incident review. After the fire is out, after the systems are restored, after the business is back to normal, the work is not done. You must learn from the incident. That is where you get better. Let me define the post-incident review. The goal: continuous improvement, not blame. The post-incident review is not a witch hunt. It is not about finding someone to blame. It is about understanding what went wrong and how to prevent it from happening again. When people fear blame, they hide the truth. And when the truth is hidden, you cannot fix the real problem. Root cause analysis, RCA. This is the core of the post-incident review. You identify exactly why the controls failed. You do not stop at the surface level. You dig deeper. For example, if an alert was missed, you do not ask, who missed the alert? You ask, why was the alert missed? Was the CISM misconfigured? Was the analyst overwhelmed? Was the alert too noisy? You find the root cause. The output. The post-incident review justifies future security budgets, updates the business impact analysis, and rewrites policies to ensure the exact same incident never happens twice. It is not just a report. It is a tool for improvement. Here is the key insight. If you do not learn from an incident, you will repeat it. The post-incident review is where you close the loop. You take the lessons learned and feed them back into preparation. From a business perspective, this means you must invest in the post-incident review. It is not optional. It is essential for continuous improvement. Now, let me ask you a question. After an incident is closed, the team meets to discuss what went well and what could be improved. They update their playbooks based on what they learned. What is this called? A. Eradication. B. Recovery. C. Post-incident review, lessons learned. D. Containment. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C. Post-incident review, lessons learned. This is the phase that closes the loop. Eradication is about removing the root cause. Recovery is about restoring operations. Containment is about stopping the spread. Option A is incorrect because eradication is about removal. Option B is incorrect because recovery is about restoration. Option D is incorrect because containment is about stopping. So the correct answer is C. Now, let me ask you another question. A post-incident review identifies that an alert was missed because the CISM was misconfigured. The team updates the CISM configuration and retrains the analysts. What is this an example of? A. Blaming the analyst. B. Fixing the root cause. C. Ignoring the issue. D. Punishing the team. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. Fixing the root cause. The team identified the root cause and fixed it. They did not blame the analyst. Option A is incorrect because they did not blame the analyst. Option C is incorrect because they fixed the issue. Option D is incorrect because they did not punish the team. So the correct answer is B. Now a third question. A company conducts a post-incident review. The review identifies that the business impact analysis was outdated, causing incorrect prioritization of systems. The team updates the BAA. What is the primary benefit? A. The team can blame the BAA. B. The updated BIA will guide future prioritization and budget decisions. C. The team can ignore future incidents. D. The BIA is irrelevant. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The updated BIA will guide future prioritization and budget decisions. The post-incident review justifies future security budgets and updates the BIA. Option A is incorrect because blame is not the goal. Option C is incorrect because ignoring incidents is dangerous. Option D is incorrect because the BIA is essential. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company conducts a post-incident review after a data breach. The review identifies that the breach was caused by a known vulnerability that was not patched because the patch management process was broken. The team updates the patch management process and retrains the team. However, 6 months later, a similar breach occurs. What is the root cause? A. The team did not conduct a post-incident review. B. The post-incident review was conducted, but the team did not implement the changes. A post-incident review is only effective if the lessons are translated into action. C. The vulnerability was too complex. D. The attackers were too sophisticated. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The post-incident review was conducted, but the team did not implement the changes. A post-incident review is only effective if the lessons are translated into action. Option A is incorrect because they did conduct a review. Option C is incorrect because complexity is not the issue. Option D is incorrect because sophistication is not the issue. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, conducting a post-incident review but not implementing the changes. A review without action is just a conversation. Second, blaming individuals instead of fixing the process. When you blame, you create fear. When there is fear, people hide mistakes. When mistakes are hidden, you cannot learn. Third, skipping the post-incident review entirely because we are too busy. The busiest teams are the ones that need lessons learned the most. Here are 3 tips to lock this in. First, conduct a post-incident review after every significant incident. Do not skip it. Second, focus on process, not people. Ask, why did the system allow this, not, who made the mistake. Third, translate lessons into action. Update policies, playbooks, and training. Assign owners and due dates. We have covered a lot in this video. Security versus incident management. Strategic versus tactical. The escalation hierarchy. Business recovery metrics. Disaster recovery sites. The incident response lifecycle. Detection, triage, and automation. The containment dilemma. Forensics and the order of volatility. Chain of custody. Eradication versus recovery. Testing methodologies. And post-incident review. Now let me bring everything together with one final thought. The outsourcing dilemma. You can outsource the tactical work. You can hire a managed detection and response provider. You can use cloud disaster recovery as a service. You can outsource forensics. But the business always retains the ultimate accountability and risk. If a vendor has a breach, your customers will still blame you. The regulators will still fine you. You can outsource the technical function, but you can never outsource the liability. Final insight. Incident management is not an IT project. It is a living, continuous business governance cycle. It is not a one-time effort. It is an ongoing capability. You must continuously test, improve, and adapt. Readiness is the ultimate shield. The organizations that survive incidents are not the ones with the best technology. They are the ones with the best preparation. Let me leave you with 3 final principles. First, prepare before the incident. The teams that recover in hours instead of weeks did their hardest work before the incident ever started. Write the plan. Build the team. Test the plan. Practice the response. Second, balance speed and business impact. Containment is a business decision. You must balance the need to stop the attack with the impact on operations. Communicate trade-offs to leadership. Get sign-off. Third, learn from every incident. Conduct a post-incident review. Identify the root cause. Update your policies, playbooks, and training. If you do not learn, you will repeat. Now, let me ask you a question. A company outsources its incident response to a managed detection and response, MDR, provider. The provider suffers a breach that exposes customer data. Who is ultimately accountable? A. The MDR provider. B. The company that hired the provider. C. Both equally. D. Neither. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B. The company that hired the provider. The golden rule applies: you can outsource the technical function, but you can never outsource the ultimate accountability and liability for your data. Option A is incorrect because the provider may have liability, but accountability rests with the customer. Option C is incorrect because accountability is not equally shared. Option D is incorrect because someone is accountable. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me ask you another question. A company has a mature incident management program with tested playbooks, trained staff, and regular exercises. When a major incident occurs, the company recovers quickly and suffers minimal damage. What is the primary factor in their success? A. The technology they used. B. The budget they had. C. Their readiness and preparation. D. The attackers were not sophisticated. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is C, their readiness and preparation. Readiness is the ultimate shield. The organizations that survive incidents are not the ones with the best technology. They are the ones with the best preparation. Option A is incorrect because technology alone is not enough. Option B is incorrect because budget alone is not enough. Option D is incorrect because sophistication is not the primary factor. So the correct answer is C. Now a third question. A company conducts a post-incident review after every major incident. They update their playbooks and training based on what they learned. What is this an example of? A one-time project. B, a continuous business governance cycle. C, a waste of time. D, a compliance requirement. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B, a continuous business governance cycle. Incident management is not an IT project. It is a living, continuous business governance cycle. Option A is incorrect because it is not a one-time project. Option C is incorrect because it is not a waste of time. Option D is incorrect because it is not just a compliance requirement. So the correct answer is B. Now, if you are ready, here is a more challenging question. A company has a robust incident management program. They have invested in technology, training, and testing. However, during a major incident, the business suffers significant damage because the incident management team did not coordinate with the business continuity team. What is the root cause? A, the incident management team was incompetent. B, the incident management program was not integrated with business continuity. C, the technology was outdated. D, the attackers were too sophisticated. Pause the video, think about your answer, then come back. The correct answer is B, the incident management program was not integrated with business continuity. Incident management is not just about technology. It is about the business. It must be integrated with business continuity. Option A is incorrect because competence is not the issue. Option C is incorrect because technology is not the root cause. Option D is incorrect because sophistication is not the issue. So the correct answer is B. Now, let me share 3 final traps that even experienced managers fall into. First, thinking that outsourcing removes accountability. It does not. You can outsource the technical function, but you can never outsource liability. Second, treating incident management as a one-time project. It is a continuous governance cycle. You must continuously test, improve, and adapt. Third, forgetting that readiness is the ultimate shield. The best technology is useless without preparation. Here are 3 final tips to lock this in. First, prepare before the incident. Write the plan. Build the team. Test the plan. Practice the response. Second, integrate incident management with business continuity. They must work together to ensure business survival. Third, learn from every incident. Conduct a post-incident review. Update your policies, playbooks, and training. Take this mindset into your exam and into your career. Think like a leader. Speak the language of the business. Build incident management programs that enable the organization to survive and thrive. That is what CSM is about. That is what incident management is about. That is what leadership is about. Good luck on your exam. I will see you in the next video.